Green is my favorite color.
No.
Green. Wanna be a big lover.
This girl sent me this picture of a little baby. And it was in a town that I had never been in before. And she sent me this picture. She said, "New Jack, this is your baby." And the baby looked like a pigeon with a spiked hairdo. I swear to God. I told her that ain't my baby. And she said, "No, but you was there with me. You remember that night." I said, "Look, bitch. Cocaine's a powerful drug, but it ain't my baby."
Green.
But at the host, he's saying that it's like a
My favorite color.
Have you heard the buffalo chain? It's hilarious.
Green.
I did it last
Like
year.
a big green machine.
No, listen.
Nobody fuck with us. Fucking do it. Fuck that, man. Kissing ass. I'm a dick. And fuck it. Don't bitch about it. Bullshit. You don't give a fuck and shit like that. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Am I cursing too much?
Green has a lot of protein.
Full bar. Roll bar.
It's like Colombian emeralds.
In WCW, like, how serious were the politics? And
I'm not answering shit like that.
Green. Yeah. Green. It's my favorite color. Green. I think I need a new lover.
Fuck.
My name is Rikishi. Need I say? I've been broken into the business with my uncles off on Sick of the Wild Simones.
now, when you did get in the business, how was it like learning the art of wrestling, and how quickly did you get into the big time?
Well, how quick did I get into the big time? I guess I was always in the big time. I just never knew it. I've been with the WWE well over 12, 13 years. And I think the business has changed the way it used to be. Back in the day, it was more full contact, where my uncles in Alpha Seca used to really go in there and scrap. Nowadays, it's more or less like entertainment now. Which I think it's good, because for longevity for a wrestler, you're not being beat up every night. You follow me? So it's good.
My name's Sean O'Hare. I started with the power plant in the year 2000. I was with WCW for about a year and a half, and then they got bought out by WWF. It's now WWE, and I carried over there, where I just finished up my contract just this week. WWE.
What exactly happened with WWE? Like, why did it? What happened? Why didn't they renew the contract?
I felt like I asked them, and they were not opposed to, if they weren't going to use me the way that I wanted to be used, they had to go ahead and give me a release, and they agreed, and they didn't want to use me the way I wanted to be used, and the things I wanted to do, they wanted to be somebody different, I felt, and they didn't like the way that I wrestled, so we part ways. It was it wasn't a bad breakup at all.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us how you got into the wrestling business?
Yeah, I'm Psychosis from Tijuana, Mexico. And I got 50 years in this business. And I'm sorry about my English, it's not so good, but I try to speak English, all right? I'm so sorry for my English. And the business for my brother. My brother and I is Phobia, his name in Mexico. It's not a big name, but a big name for me and for my family. He's my big brother, and I love this guy for the business. He gave me the business, and I love this business right now.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us how you got into the wrestling business and what made you want to get into the wrestling business?
Sure. You're looking at Sylvester Bear Turkeye, affectionately known as the Predator. 6'6", weigh 305 pounds. Basically, I got started in 1999. I had been doing a good deal of acting in Hollywood as far as commercial work especially, but also theatricals. And everybody kept saying, hey, I think, you know, you'd be good to try this pro wrestling. That there's a school down in Orange County, down in Costa Mesa at the time. It was called the Ultimate Pro University. So initially, because I have a background in amateur wrestling, I declined it because I just didn't believe that pro wrestling had much to offer me. But then I went down and finally I decided, a friend of mine said, hey, go down, check it out, least you could do. Went down, I picked up on it very well as far as the moves, a lot of the ideas, and the rest is history. Currently I wrestle for 01 Pro Wrestling in Japan, and I also have a fighting deal with K1, which is one of the better fighting companies in the world. So I do no holds barred fighting, and I also do pro wrestling.
Introduce yourself and tell us.
Oh, come on, man. You know the fuck I am.
I know, but for the documentary.
Oh.
And that's how I did in the last one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I mean, that's how we started.
I'll keep it like this, though. Vampiro.
Okay, cool. Tell us, what's the wildest, craziest experience you've had in the wrestling business so far?
When I had a hard-on and I walked on ICP's tour bus. That was pretty crazy, because everybody on the bus got super excited and formed a line to take a Polaroid with me and my boner.
Are there Polaroids to prove this, though, or
what?
Is there Polaroids to prove this, or what?
Yes, there are, but they're in private collections worldwide. It's a sought-after item on eBay.
Alright.
Yeah, to the fence. Sweet. Yeah. Yep. Yes.
You want to see what ICP saw on the bus?
Fag.
Hi, my name is Tylene Buck, and I'm here to kick some major butt. So bring it, baby. You got what it takes. I got in the wrestling business in 2000. I went to LA and I did an interview, and they were looking for some hot chicks, and so I went down there for an interview, and there were about 30 girls, and they were only picking 6 girls, so I was one of the girls they picked. So I went to Houston, Texas for my very first show, and I got put with the NWO guys, so with like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett and all them, so. And I was like one of their girls for a while. Like one of their ballet girls.
What was it like working with them?
Oh my god. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. What the NWO is basically like they were the badasses and they had the hottest chicks and all the money and they ran the show, and so it was cool. It was a lot of fun. So that was the beginning of it, and I was addicted from then on.
The #1 stunner, Baby Slim, is up in this house. Not big, baby. I dropped the big because I'm not that big anymore. Baby Slim, the king of the bling, the CEO of Keeping It Gangster. I've been in the business for about 4 years now.
Were you a fan of wrestling ever since you were a young kid?
Oh yeah, for sure. My inspiration: Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Hulk Hogan, Sting, New Jack.
Can I introduce myself? Any of you monkeys who are watching this and don't know who I am don't watch anyway, so why the hell are you paying attention to this? It's me, DDP. Diamond Dallas Page.
Let me zoom in on your drinks.
Yeah, look, you got them big old fruit bowl. That's some heavy shit there, bro.
Tell us about what happened last night when you were blading. Like, that was a serious blade drop. What went on last night?
Blading, what's that? What does that mean? I've never done that before. You know, you ask me questions like that. This is not secrets of pro wrestling. This is not exposing the business. You watch your mouth, mister.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did not cut my head with a razor blade, all right? I did not do that. So that bullshit Mike talking about, don't fuck that bullshit. I ain't. We are not gonna take. We ain't gonna edit this. We ain't gonna take it out. But whatever the fuck Mike is talking about, Mike, stop watching secrets of pro wrestling, bro. Because I ain't never told you I cut my head with no razor blade. This is legit shit. motherfucker, you. Put me on the spot, you bastard. Blading, gigging, juicing.
I worked in the AWA for about a year and a half, and over that period of time, I got picked up at Florida Championship Wrestling. So I worked for there for almost 2 years, and I got paid $50 to go up. I learned from Dusty Rhodes and Gordon Soley. I learned a lot of the greats in this business. And what ended up happening was I was trying out for WWF, and it didn't happen. I tried for WCW, it didn't happen. But I built a relationship with Dusty Rhodes, and Florida Championship Wrestling had closed down, AWA had closed down, and Diamond Dallas Page is now a figment of my imagination. Until the Dream called me up and said, I want you to come up, baby. I want you to be a fire-breathing dragon manager. You want to be the greatest manager of all time. And I went up there with no guarantee, left the bar business, which I was a general manager of, and part owner, and sold out to follow a dream at 35 years old. Got up there. They brought me as a manager and color commentator. 6 months in, they terminated my managerial duties. Said I was too over the top or stealing the attention away from the wrestlers, and the wrestlers were the ones who drew the money. So, they really had to just let me be a color commentator. And I had 6 months left on my deal, and I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going for my dream. I was 35 and a half years old, and I decided I was going for it. And I went down that power plant every day, and they beat the hell out of me. And, they put me on TV 3 weeks later with Scott Hall. And Scott was so pissed. And I never understood why he was mad. But that of course, 3 or 4 years later, I understood. Here's a guy, he's a top guy. They weren't making him a top guy, giving him the opportunity yet, but here's the guy's a top guy who was being stuck with a jabroni manager wrestler. And we were called I guess it wasn't called the Diamond Exchange, it was called something. Can't remember what it was called. I think we were the Diamond Exchange. And later on, I went on to, after Scott got hurt, ended up going to WWF, ended up working with Kevin Nash, and we were the Vegas connection. And I just paid my dues, man. I was working out for about 9 months as a wrestler, tore my rotator cuff. I had 3 months left on my deal. They let me go. I was unemployed for 11 months, and I just kept following my dream. My wife told me, honey, you need to get a real job. You can't, we're not making any money, and you got to go back in the bar business. I said, you need not to let that door hit you on the ass on the way out if you don't believe what the hell I'm doing. I was 37 and a half at the time, and I got my job back at WCW.
I first got into the wrestling business back in 1993. I started doing independent shows. It was back when I started auditioning for television roles and commercial. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be a movie star. I was always an athlete since the time I was 15 years old. I started lifting weights, watching my brother and his friends, and becoming my friends too. Mostly men who were very supportive, egging me on to lift more weight every day, and who really made me feel proud and cool when I was in high school and college. And I started basing my friendships and my life around a very physical environment. I played a lot of sports, a lot of intramurals. I was not good at anything except that I liked the team camaraderie, and I liked the fact that I had a whole lot of men around me who were pushing me forward and thought that I was a real a woman. It made me feel really special.
Well, I've been in the industry maybe 16, 17 years now. This is the worst I've ever seen it, as far as there's not that many places to wrestle. Obviously, there's not that many territories. And, it's a promoter's market right now. The promoter's going to give you what he wants to pay you, and you're going to have to take it or go nowhere else. If you're not in WWF or TNA, where else can you be? No American is making money in Mexico. No American's making money in Puerto Rico. Some Americans are making money in Japan, but a lot of people don't want to go to Japan. So right now it's at an all-time low. And unless they start playing politics and games and get back to business, we're going to stay in the predicament we're in. You can't keep waiting for another rock to come along and save the business.
Were any of the guys like jealous of the exposure you got in WCW or like the ratings you drew compared to their segments?
Oh, extremely. Well, my ratings got higher than a lot of the top wrestlers in WCW. So it started a lot of heat in the back room. So, do I dare name names?
You're welcome to.
Or should I just leave it alone? Well, I guess I'll leave it alone. But I'll say some of the top guys that were in WCW. They had a problem with me basically being as hot as I am and taking all the TV time, you know. So they had to go to the bookers and they whined and snivelled and to try to get my character killed. And so I was like, I'm sorry that you don't have the looks that I have and the tits and ass that I have, and you know, but you can go around and wear your Speedos and it's okay. So yeah, they got kind of bent out of shape with that one. So, but oh well.
In WCW, like how serious were the politics? And
I'm not answering shit like that because that's that's the same shit that happens in everywhere. I'll tell you what, they weren't any worse than WWE because I was there too. You know, and they're no worse than friggin' little arenas and little independent halls. That's why I won't work with anybody who doesn't. They're paying me to give somebody a diamond cutter. And I don't care how we get there. I'm watching my neck. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to entertain the fans the best I can.
Well, I believe that politics are important in any business. There's a respect hierarchy there, and there is paying your dues when you start out, and that's very important. So I don't believe that politically, in anything you do, there's going to be politics, and that's okay. I think that's things usually happen the right way. What I'm saying is that you have to be true with yourself and get the bigger picture and be willing to step up to the plate, not only for selfish reasons, for your own ego, but to realize, your future and other people's future around you, because you're only as good as the people around you. I mean, we all have our talents and things that make us special, but it's very, very hard to do it alone. And it's very hard to do it alone when you have people against you, too. And so, politics work themselves out in the long run, I believe.
What was it like backstage in WCW for you? Like, I hear bad things, but was it like a good experience, or was it really
there was no problems with me. I mean, a lot of people had problems, but because I went in basically with Jindrak and Palumbo, and we all watched each other's backs, and there was nobody fucked with us, I come from a shoot background, and people pick on other people and work that crap. There's politics backstage, but it never had anything to do with me.
Yeah, well, my ratings were higher than Goldberg's, and he didn't like it so much. He see me in my little bikini top and my little shorts and my nice body and stuff, and he was really bitter about that. He's whining and sniveling because my ratings were better than his, and it was okay for him to wear his tight little Speedos, but it wasn't okay for me to wear my bikini top and my shorts and stuff. And he snivelled and whined about it, and ran to the bookers and tried to get my character killed, and it was a bunch of bullcrap. It just really was.
Did you approach him personally about it and tell him what's up, or?
Well, actually, we ran into each other. He came out of the locker room, and I was walking down the hall, and he said, "What, did this turn into a porn show now?" And I was like, "Well, maybe not a porn show, but maybe a gay porn show with your little Speedos there." So he was pretty hot about it, but I was like, whatever. If you're gonna act like an asshole about it, then be an asshole. So yeah, he does have two faces to him.
It really helped you become what you became and get on TV. Who was
Bill Goldberg. Sort of took me under his wing when I was in WCW and got the office to really, and Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, they both helped me out in WCW, which carried over into WWE too.
How did Goldberg take you under his wing other than get you over with some of the office?
Yeah, basically that was it.
It was a really strong personal friendship.
Yeah, well, we were boys. He just happened to take a liking to me when I was in there, and I liked him. He was real, And sometimes that's rare to come about in any business, real people, you know.
Did anybody like really hold you back, you feel, in your career?
No, just myself.
Very honest. When you went to WCW, how was it there for you? Were you happy there? Were you not happy there? How was your emotions when you were there in that company?
I'm happy there, but I'm so young at that time. I think I'm happy there. So I'm so young, and when the time is passed, I don't know what to tell them. I'm happy there, and that's it. I'm happy. That's it.
Did you feel like you were underutilized there? Did they not use you to your ability?
No, I'm always doing my job, but because I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling happy. This is what I do. That's my job.
What was your opinion of Eric Bischoff in WCW? And how we could answer that one if you could.
Yeah, I got along with Eric fine.
Yeah.
Eric, he was there a very short period of time while I was there, and Russo was more in charge when I was in WCW, and right when he went out and Bischoff came in is when they did the buyout, this takeover, whatever you want to call it.
Did Vince Russo really help you, Phil, in like getting on TV and pushing you?
Definitely.
And like you're not. I know some people look at him really critically. You would say that all that's bullshit, and he's a good guy, or the guy has talents, or
he never did anything wrong to me, and he put me on TV. You know, and he listened to some of the things I had to say, which no one really did, being as new as I was, which was totally great. Him and Ed Ferrara.
What didn't I like about WCW?
Who's got a rental car here?
Well,
All right.
We need it for like people shooting and things.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
what I didn't like is all the bickering, arguing, everyone just basically trying to backstab each other to try to get TV time. You know, this one whining and running to the booker, say, oh, well, this one's doing this one's doing that, you know, or even making up stuff so basically they can get their storyline killed so they can make themselves look better.
How would you compare like ECW to WCW, and what did you like more?
That was different. The man is different, that's it. Because in ECW, you do the 110% your job, and WCW do the like 80%. You can do it too much. You can do some chairs, tables, different styles. But the man is better than WCW.
So in WCW, like the wrestlers wouldn't try as hard, pretty much, or?
No, the company they don't like this much because entertainment for kids, not for crazy guys like that.
When you were in WCW, like what was the locker room like back then? Because people say bad things, some people say good things.
I'm positively paged, dude. You know, I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. There was ups and downs and everything, you know. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, there's good and bad in everything. And you're going to have you guys who use shit disturbers, and they just stir shit no matter what. I try to look the other way from that, you know, and I try to look at the positive side of it. And, you know, it was a great time for me. I had a great experience, the good and the bad. I wouldn't have changed a thing.
What was it like politically backstage in the WWE? Was it a frustration, or was it just normal day life?
It was a great thing for me.
Yeah. What when WWE bought WCW, or the companies merged, like how did that change the landscape of wrestling, and how did it affect you personally?
Well, it didn't affect me at all. Again, I was at home. I think it would probably hurt other wrestlers because that weren't in the WWE. The guys that were in WCW were probably worried about were they going to have a job for WWE. So I guess I wouldn't know how to answer that because I wasn't in that position. And fortunately, I was with the WWE at the time. So yeah, I guess it hurt a lot of guys.
When WWE bought WCW, how did that change the business for you and for the wrestlers backstage?
Well, let's see. When WWF bought WCW, I was actually feeling at that point a little bit something quite not right, you know. And I was worried about my worried about my job. Actually, I felt that something was going on. And so I thought that WCW was actually great because we should always have options. You know, and you're taught to believe that, you know, yeah, when you're with one company, it's the best, and we're going to beat everybody else, and that's the greatest. But what the stupidity of most of the guys, what they didn't get was, well, if you're gone here today, where are you going to go? So, you know, Coke would be nothing without Pepsi. Pepsi would be nothing without Coke, you know, help each other out. So most of the guys would go to WCW and just kind of be lazy or get automatic guarantees, and, you know, it's all good. Well, the product is going to fail like that, right? So, you know, everybody's looking out for themselves. They're not looking at the bigger picture. And it's very easy, too, to be able to get, you know, you want to do well. You want to be part of a company and go, yeah, you know, we did it. We got top ratings, or, you know, we did this. But not to not diminish another company or another option for you always.
When the business in WCW was going somewhat downhill towards the last 6 months or so, 3 months, what was the locker room feeling? What was your feeling of what was going on? Or was it a surprise it shut down?
Yeah, it was. I was surprised. I didn't think we knew until the day of, down in Panama City. But fuck it, I didn't give a shit. You know, whatever. What's gonna happen? It's gonna happen. You can't change it. People stressing out and stuff like that. If I didn't do my job well, then I didn't deserve to be in it. You know, I'm not gonna hate somebody else for me not getting a position, me not getting a job, whatever the politics are, whatever. If you're good at what you do, you get on TV, you get a job. If you don't, you don't. You know, certain things, love, kissing ass, have things to do with it. But I'm who I am. If I can't get along with who I am, I don't want to do it. So that's why we separated our ways. You know, but in the locker room, like I told you before, it wasn't my place. It's not my place to comment on that because I really didn't pay attention.
Eric Bischoff and I were friends, but he would never help me, push me. It took Hulk, it took Nash coming back, it took Scott Hall coming back, it took Randy Macho Man Savage wanting to work with me. They're the guys who made my career. You know, that helped give me that opportunity. Eric Bischoff looked out for me and was a friend, but he would never push me because he believed in reverse nepotism, as contrary to what some people say. But then again, what the fuck do you know?
The worst time in WCW, I think, was towards the end, when Eric Bischoff came back into the picture and basically just wanted to spend money that didn't really need to be spent, and wanted old talent to come back in that's been played out and storylines been played over and over. You know, they would bring back storylines that were from 5 years ago, and, you know, it was like played out. So after that, I mean, people just, you know, lost interest. They didn't want to tune in anymore, you know, because they've already seen that, you know. So I think that was probably the worst, is towards the end when basically everybody knew that the company was going to be getting bought out by WWE, and everybody's kind of like, you know, wondering, you know, what, you know, they're going to still have a job, or if they're going to, you know, be picked up by WWE, or, you know, all that. So there was a lot of heat that was going on, you know, a lot of bickering and arguing and fighting and stuff like that. So with me, I mean, I figured I'd just enjoy it for as long as I could with WCW, and with all my friends that I did meet there, and the, you know, close friends I met and worked with and stuff like that. But I would say that was probably the worst. But overall, you know, it was a great experience.
When WCW was near the ending points, right before WWE bought it, like, what was going through your mind, and what was going through the mind of the other wrestlers?
The poor wrestling fans. That's what was going through my mind. Let's take Coke away, and only Pepsi runs the world of that genre. One wrestling federation. And I know TNA's trying. I wish them all the luck in the world. But, you know, and they could do it. No one ever thought WCW would knock off WWF. But if WCW would have become NWO at any given time, Vince was dead. Because that was so strong what they screwed up there. The main reason they didn't do that was because there was so much money put in the marketing of WCW that they didn't want to take this, you know, they didn't want to screw with that. There was mazillions of dollars put in the name WCW. NWO wasn't putting them, it was selling 10 to 1, 100 to 1. You know, and that was a mistake, and the wrestling fans, they pay the price.
How many people change jobs? You know, the average person, they say, changes jobs, and that's before you know, out of college, 3 times. You know, I mean, that's life. You know, when you get into a monopoly, it's not good to think like that. You should think on a professional level of excelling at what you do with the people around you, and not to squash something else that's, you know, really helping to make your business bigger. And so I feel that was, you know, I feel that was a disaster when that happened. Wasn't happy about that at all.
When you did get into WWE, like, was the backstage atmosphere completely different from WCW? Like, how did it differ?
Yeah, it was more respectful. People worked together more, you know, but it's just, you know, it's locker room. I don't know, I can't say, you want me to say something good or bad, it was just there. I worked, I was in the locker room, I changed my clothes, that was it. Everybody stresses, oh, it was all this. Fuck that, man. I was on TV, I had to do a job. I didn't even worry about who was talking about me in the back room. Fuck it.
How would you compare your time in WCW to the time in WWF?
It was my dream to be in a WWF since I was a little kid, so the WWF. And sometimes things don't work out the way you plan them to. I think I made a bad mistake going in as a stalker and not waiting and doing my idea, which is People's Champion versus People's Champion, which would have drew money, and it would have brought the WCW fans along. I'd say I made a bad mistake in judgment of how I came in there. I don't blame anybody but myself. I'm responsible for my own actions. I'm very thankful that I got that last run with Christian, because that showed that the 47 or 46-year-old man could still go. And you watch back WrestleMania 18, man, we had the people big time. And there was nothing on our angle. Nothing. If we'd had a pushed angle out of that, we'd have really been live. But overall, it was a good experience, man. Every experience I have is a great experience. You know, this is everything I do. I don't look at anything at a negative level. It's not who I am.
What was it like when WWE bought out WCW and you changed rosters and changed companies? How did that affect you mentally, and how did that change the business and from your standpoint?
It was extremely stressful because it was a whole different ballgame from one company to another, and I did not enjoy that part at all. And that's one reason I went to Louisville the first time, because I couldn't adjust to what they wanted me to adjust to. They wanted me to wrestle a different way, be a different person than I was, and I guess I couldn't pull it off. The stress was just unbelievable.
What's it like working with TNA? How's the locker room there, and how's it feel to be a wrestler and an announcer for them?
The locker room's very relaxed. There's not that much politics. I just think that they're not doing good business. They're like WWF. If they like you, you can do no wrong. If they don't like you, you can do no right. And they're picking a lot of people that shouldn't be in positions that they're in just because they like them or they're favorites of theirs, and business isn't being done in either company.
Relationship, when you met Triple H, how did it build from there? How did you, what was it, how did it develop? Was it very instantaneous that you two just hit it off and grew a very close bond, or did it take time for that?
Paul's and mine relationship developed about 6 months after I had been working with the company on a daily basis. We were neighbors. Found out we lived 5 minutes away from each other in New Hampshire. And, when I first started, like I said, I went on the road right away. It was back when it was not a multi-billion-dollar business. We were doing high school cafeterias, and there were, a couple hundred folding chair seats. Or we were overseas, because it was then where you could make some money, more than in the United States. So I was the first woman on the road full time. There hadn't been a woman on the road because it is a guy's business primarily, and things are very different then. So I was scared. I was nervous. I wondered what I got myself into. Although most of the time I've always looked straight ahead and taken each situation as a new endeavor, as a new situation. I didn't know anything different anyway. So. But, I stayed close to him, and I think also by driving with him for many long nights, many long drives, lots of talking, learning we really gravitated towards each other and became very serious with each other 6 months later. And then eventually he was going to be the man that I was going to marry, and it didn't work out, but we spent 5 years together, and it was a very good relationship. And I wouldn't have wanted it any other way while I was working for the company, for WWF at the time, and on the road. Yeah.
How did the relationship break up? Like, what happened there?
Our relationship broke up after Stephanie McMahon, who is Vince McMahon's daughter, joined WWF after college days, and they were working on a storyline of a romance where they got married, and took that to reality. Paul, on the other hand, chose to have an affair with Vince's daughter, and it wreaked havoc on my life for a year. I was with the company and didn't know, and suspected, but even in real life, you hear of people going through this. Well, when it's your job, and your home and your profession, your money, your everything, all I could do was trust, and that trust was broken when I eventually found out. And I was let go from the company. And so for the past 3 years, pretty much I've been in LA working. Will not go back to WWF. I feel it was an extremely inappropriate, bad thing to do.
Can you tell me, back in the day, back when you were in your peak in Mexico, you and Vamp had really bad blood between each other.
Right.
What was the deal with all that?
We were just both immature, and I think Antonio Pena, who was my boss, he always liked the, glamorous, good-looking guy, and he always kind of was like a mark for Vampiro, and he wanted me to always be competing against him. Oh, Vampiro's going out with this actor, so you need to go out with him. Vampiro did this, and then I think that we're both very rebellious, and I think we were immature, and we had other wrestlers kind of stir up the pot, and we just started to have I think a professional jealousy turned into personal jealousy, and it was just stupid. We were both young, and Mexico wasn't big enough for the both of us. It's like having Axl Rose and Slash in the same group. They just couldn't be there no more. Or Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth. As talented as they were, the group wasn't big enough for the both of them. Mexico wasn't big enough for the both of us.
Who in the business do you just totally dislike?
Who do I totally dislike?
Yeah.
In the business?
Yeah.
Everybody.
But why?
Why? I'm pretty sure wrestling's like any other business, music or acting or anything that's to do with entertainment. There's a lot of lies, false promises. There's a lot of politics, a lot of sexual politics. There's not a lot of friends, plus you're alone, and no one's really going to help you out, because it's one of them things where everybody's out for themselves, and there's money involved. So guys who make big paydays don't want to help out a little guy, and there's a lot of people ain't honest, and it takes a long time and a lot of hard work to make it in any type of business. But in wrestling, it's hard now because of the internet. In the United States, from what I see and hear, the indie scene is drying up, and what there is, everybody thinks they know everything, and the guys don't make a lot of money. So as you get older, and if you have a family to support, expenses on the road, a lot of people don't take into consideration your trans, your food, staying in a hotel, calling home. All that shit adds up. So if you make $200 at a show, and you got to drive, 400 miles, you spend that on gas, spend that on hotel, car rental, food. So it's a real tough living. Plus, if you get hurt, there's no medical insurance. It's a hard road. It's a very hard road. You guys fuck with you when you're doing interviews. I don't respect your shit just because you say they took Polaroids of your hard dick. But that's neither here nor there.
I've really enjoyed everybody. Overall, some of the older female ballet girls, like Kimberly Page, for one. She was just unbelievably major pain in the ass.
Nightmare.
But overall, the other girls, like, you know, with Tori and Stacy and stuff like that, they're pretty nice girls. We all went to wrestling school together and beat the crap out of each other, and it was cool. It was fun.
Has there been anybody in the wrestling business, primarily in WCW, that you did not get along with? You had bad blood between you two?
No, nothing like that.
Everything's good?
No.
Are you looking into trying to get to wrestle for Vince McMahon? Do you want to go up there? Or
I'm always trying to do a good job. And maybe in the future, maybe not. But today I do my job the best I can.
Contracts were really hard, you know, because it was getting towards the end of WCW, so it's hard to get like really killer contracts and things. I would say, you know, everybody just. I want to say there was really one particular person that was kind of hard to get along with and stuff. I mean, everybody had their moments, I guess, when basically there was a lot of stress going on. Overall, I think I liked everybody. I mean, the girls were kind of catty at times, you know.
I have no respect for whatsoever.
Well, I mean, everybody knows the story about, you know, the McMahons and you know, there's always people on the outside. I mean, doesn't really bother me. You know, I can't. Other than that, I can't say as if I've run into too many, you know, bad people or hurtful people aside from what's that displayed in my personal life. You know, because it filters over.
How's Kim? She's doing great. Yeah? Yeah, she just got the lead in the movie, so she's pretty happy. There you go, my brother. Thank you, sir. Happy birthday to you, buddy. I love you, buddy. Happy birthday to you, buddy. I got your name. Happy birthday to you. She's laughing. I'm singing happy birthday to her. Somebody.
She doesn't know who it is yet.
This is down in Dallas Page. No, she's really laughing.
I don't know if you're familiar. I think Ric Flair said some bad things in a book.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Can you tell me what you would say back to Flair?
I got nothing to say to Flair. You know, I don't say things that I won't say to someone straight to their face. And if Rick has his own opinions, then that's fine. You know, I have respect for Ric Flair as being one of the greatest workers ever. He never thought I should have ever been a top guy. He's one of the people who really tried to hold me down big time. And him and a couple other guys. But, you know, and what I mean by that is they didn't want to give me a break when he was booking. And that's okay, because that's what Rick believed. And he was entitled to his own opinion. I'm taking the high road like I always do. If I got something to say to Ric Flair, I'll say it to his face.
Why would he want to hold you down?
He honestly did not think that I had what it took. He didn't honestly believe. It wasn't anything personal. You know, with Rick, I don't think it's ever anything personal. He looks at a guy and you go, that guy's going to make it. He's not. He is. He isn't. I was in the he's not. And whether Eric Bischoff pushed me to the roof, and we've all seen people get shoved down people's throats, you can't make people chant DDP. You can't make them do it. You can't make 22,000 people in Chicago's United Center, or in Birmingham, Alabama, or Atlanta, Georgia, or in Salt Lake City chant and make 20,000 people do this. You can't make them do that. You know, you've got to have something. And I had work ethic, drive, intensity, and I was real. I was really that guy that they said would never make it, and they were wrong. And so was Ric Flair. Now, we did an interview one time where I came in and he gave me the most unbelievable introduction. I'll never forget, it was in Toronto, right after I finished making the movie, I think it was Ready to Rumble. It was Ready to Rumble. And I got in the ring, I said, well, Rick, that must have been like sticking 2 ice picks in your eyes. And he said, well, Diamond, I must admit, I never thought that you would ever hit the fame that you hit. And it was like as simple as that. I was never mad at Ric Flair. I'm still not mad at him. You know, I'm not going to let something like that bother me. You know, it really does. You know, as far as I'm concerned, Ric Flair, in my eyes, it goes down as one of the greatest workers ever. You know.
That was bullshit what Flair said about you in the book.
You know, I'm going to take the high road.
I know.
And I don't say anything about anybody unless I say it to their face.
I read your book. It was a good book. Very good book.
And it's called jealousy because he didn't want me to ever make it.
Yeah.
He really didn't. He tried to hold me down as a booker.
So I told you I've had this marked.
All right, so you got that camera on. Okay, this is when won the world title, but you have to know what it says under it. It says, and finally, I want to thank all the skeptics who said I would never or could never, because nothing or nobody could have motivated me more. And a man right here, that's the page you want signed, okay?
That's what it's all about.
Spell it. Marty. Just M-A-R-T-Y?
Yes.
So I'll make sure. You know, the only person I don't ask how to spell his name is Bob. Right there, Bob, whoever that Bob is, changes his mind how he's spelling Bob, forget about it. You know, I'm 48 and a half years old, and I'm still going. You know, nobody's going stronger than Flair, though. But that son of a bitch is still going night in, night out. And I don't know how he does it. See, I can't say nothing bad about Ric Flair because it's not in me to do that. That's class act, by the way.
You know, I've had way more fighters like Boss Rutan and, you know, it's just Mr. Inoki and these incredible guys who I've seen around me. It's just, I mean, the growth and the level that you achieve far outweighs. It makes that look so menial, you know, so it's hard to answer that question because I don't really have hatred or like, you know, I'm not mad, you know, I don't spend my days going, how can I get even, or just, you know, I really in a comfortable place, solitude, and have been blessed to have moved on and grown. So I mean, you know, when you look at that, I could never expect that to happen again, ever. So, you know, everything happens for a reason, it all works out. It's incredible growth. So I can look back at the people who did me wrong, even on a very, very big level, and go, it's so stupid, it's so ridiculous, there's so much, you know, I can look at that, or I can go, oh my God, look what came to get me, you know, wow.
You ready to roll?
What are you doing over there, man?
He's making. Do I ask you what you doing? You do your shit? I've been doing this shit for years. I just started grabbing fucking pieces of pair of scissors, cutting up shit.
No, I'm trying to leg lock. You need to break it up. This is the first couch. Right. First couch. Right now.
Then when I shoot 12, then when I just shoot 12. It takes me a long time.
Yeah, I'll help you. Yeah. Maybe like when you tell me to kick, I'll give you a big kick. My girlfriend. Then I'll take it. Okay.
Girlfriend, do you need boyfriend? If I forget, remind me.
Throw me him. Throw me my bucket.
Everyone do it. Turn around and give it to him. Yeah. And then go rest.
What was the greatest accomplishment or experience you've had so far in the wrestling business?
Wrestling business. Wow. I got like 5, but the most I can remember when I lose my mask in Atlanta with Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio Jr., he gave me a hand. And he told me something I feel like that, like, don't worry about the mask. The mask is not a wrestler, the wrestler is you. Something like that, but I understand this is why I sometimes keep the mask, something with the mask, but I love Rey Mysterio Jr. too. He began a good hand in WCW.
So what was that like for you mentally to lose the mask? Like, was that like...
Yeah, but in Mexico it's tradition, something like in your mind, maybe, to say, with the mask you're the same guy, but you feel different. When you lose the mask, you lose like when you have kids, you lose the kids, for me, because I'm always with the mask. But it's different in the United States. I understand that. It's different. You don't respect that.
You're only
always like the good guy, you know. And then there was that one time where they turned you heel. I believe it was like they said that it was you behind the car that ran over the rock. Or well, how did that change you? Like, did you like that heel change, or what was your opinion on all that? And how did it change your status, like in the business? Let's say.
Well, I think it was a mistake because at the time when the character Rikishi came out, it was real hot. I think we were only in it probably about 3-4 months into the character, and just when it went time to go switch it, I felt that night. Matter of fact, it was here in Anaheim when we did the switch, and I think the people just didn't buy it. You know, at the time there was no other heel that could be working with Steve at the time, or Rock. So I think that's the reason why that they came up with that idea as far as making a switch. But I thought it was a bad business move, not only for the company but for the character as well.
The creative process in wrestling, do you feel that like they limit themselves with their creativity, or do they just like underestimate what the wrestlers can really do with like characters and?
Yeah, I believe the writers underestimate what they can do, what the wrestlers can do. Sometimes, you know, sometimes they let them go too far. You know, to ask me why would drive me crazy. I try to ask myself why before. It just happens the way it happens, dude. I don't know what fuels the fire that goes between the writers and the characters, but you know, I don't know.
Why did they release you? Because I mean, you were so predominant for many years. So I probably had some fans confused as to why.
It was a decision that I made personally, being that I wanted to be able to move in a different era as far as doing something different with my music. I've always wanted to be able to have time to cut a CD and pretty much drop an album. And just how I seen how Rikishi was fitted in, there was really no. I feel sorry for the fans because I'm not able to come back to do what I do best, raise the roof and have these people jumping off their seats. But it was just time for me to move on.
Yeah, after the whole affair thing, that's when you lost your job. Do you think that Stephanie personally was involved in having you released and let go from the company in some way?
Absolutely. I think that Stephanie was involved. I think that Vince McMahon acted inappropriately. You know, to me, Stephanie was a woman who was coming into the company in an executive position, who had a chance to really be a role model in this business, and I think that was probably the worst thing that could have happened as a demonstration to both men and women to join the company and have one of their highest commodities be let go due to a personal situation that is inappropriate, and then to have it progress, you know, where you have somebody for the last 3 years who has been, I feel, quite dignified and just trying to move on, and have constantly had problems with them. And so I believe that somebody would have had the opportunity to make amends, you know, or to say I'm sorry, or to speak to me, because I never even spoke to anybody. I got faxed my termination. And so, you know, it's bad business, and I think it's not good for any of us who are involved in this business. It's inappropriate. There should be no reason why. If anything, you know, I'm just starting to get mad now and say what is the truth, and hope that people will get it. But if they don't, it's okay. I'm willing to step up to the plate, because it's just wrong, you know. And so I would assume, yeah, I did happen to see Paul a couple weeks ago for the first time, and he was very angry, very rude, and it just kind of made me laugh. And I felt, in one sense, I'm so glad that I'm not there at that point in my life anymore, because, you know, it doesn't mean anything if you can't enjoy it or be grateful for it. And when you get to that point, you know, it's really want the guys and ladies to see what an opportunity they have you know, how special it is, what they're learning, what they're seeing. And if you can't enjoy that, then it doesn't mean anything, you know.
Was there anybody in WWE you felt that held you back at all, or somebody that kind of reached you from, or prevented you from reaching your potential?
No, I don't think so. You know, listen, WWE. Let me clarify this out there to you who are watching this. WWE is a great place to work. Only professionals who WWE hires. If you are not at the top of your game, if you are not as good as they see fit you are not allowed into the WWE.
I'll take it, yeah, let me go get you a sheet.
How does the travel schedule of wrestling, how does that deal with like your personal life and your family and maybe a girlfriend and everything?
It's hard. It's real hard, you know. I've went through about 15 girlfriends since I've been doing it, and one wife. I was married for about 3 months, but that it's hard to have a family and do this. It really is. I don't have a family. I don't have any children. I don't have a wife. I have a girlfriend, but it puts a strain on the relationship, you know.
Bruh, it's 12:15 my time if I was on the East Coast. This time last night, I was on my way back to the hotel in Puerto Rico, San Juan, after doing the show. My flight was at 7 o'clock this morning, and I left the hotel about 5:30. I get to the airport, they got no flight information. So I'm there like all day, right? All day long, I'm in the airport, and I take that back. I'm in the airport in the morning, but I've been on a plane all day. I finally get my flight. And I found out what time they finally found my flight and where I was supposed to be, what airline I was supposed to be on. So I jump on a plane from Puerto Rico, San Juan, to Atlanta. I got 30 minutes to get to my connecting flight. That's 4 hours to Atlanta, then 4 hours, 4.5 hours to LA. I come here, we jump in the limo, we go to the hotel, check in. My buddy Mike comes to pick me up, Mike Moody. We go and grab a taco. Goddamn Kevin called me to my Jack, can you get it to go? We ready to leave? Da da da. I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't had time to piss shit or play with my nuts. Nothing. Can I just chill for a little bit? So we went on, and I went back to the hotel and wiped the sweat and the grit and the grind off my nuts, and then we went to the set. Went to the set for the commercial we shoot. We doing a commercial out here, but it's There Goes the Neighborhood Backyard 2. And right now, I have just officially hit hour number 24 that I ain't fucking slept. And I'm gonna finish doing my protein drink, my Heineken drink, my Heineken bowl, my Long Island iced tea with some peach lobster added to it with a splash. And then within the next few hours, I guess I'll be back at the hotel. I lay down and go to sleep. Get up in the morning and go and do this commercial. Then me and Mike will hang out tomorrow all day long, and we'll finish filming this. And then I'll go to fuck somewhere. I have to look at my schedule, but I'm going somewhere, goddamn, back, on the East Coast, doing my thing.
And then I'll say action, and then you guys go. Take your time with it, though. Just, whenever you're ready, go. Okay? All right. Okay, here we go. Action!
Who wants some?
That was awesome! That was the shit! Action!
Who wants some?
Genius. Brilliant.
That was awesome.
Now wait. Before you guys go in here, is everybody okay?
Jack, you alright, baby?
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Nothing. No.
I'm going to take this off. You got a few minutes. Just want to go out. I need to bring the camera right here, and I need to get these girls and go. I'll have these girls.
You spraying it or what?
Get the wind. Put on my wrist. On my fault. It was my fault. Now I fell. I had my hand down and fell on my wrist.
Can we massage your wrist?
No, stop. Only if you suck my black wiener.
Isn't that a little small? Hey, Jack, isn't that a little small?
Sometimes you got to work with what you got. And this is all I got right now.
Sun all day.
And you said you were packing.
I am. Look. I got a bunch of wieners. Shit.
Listen to this now.
See?
Where she's sitting.
Yeah, but see, I'm going to have that right up against the fence.
Yep.
And put this one behind it.
Well, yeah, good.
So that way to give you a chance, you have room and I have room, and then you clear it, and all of a sudden it shows me just pop up, and then you walk to the fence, just lean right to the fence, to the table.
Yeah, is that a good distance for you, bro?
I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit. Yeah. Vamp. On this, walk all the way to the edge of the box. Walk to the edge.
Well, no, I want to take that and close.
Yeah.
Roxy.
Yeah.
Do you need
All right.
Okay. Let's do that.
I got you.
Do you need me to stand back there?
And then make sure when you look at it, make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be, just in case you got the adjust going back and forth.
I'll hold you till it's time.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
Everything's flying, and I'm he ends up standing like this.
So you're okay. So you know both don't go. You're the only.
It's a move.
All right, let's do it.
When you end, are you going to be on the risers or are you going to be back there?
No, I'm going to be coming through
Okay.
through the air like this.
Okay.
Right?
You're not coming down with me. No.
You want me to sit down?
No.
I could.
No.
It's safer.
No. It looks better if you just threw me through and you standing over me.
Yeah, like I'm going to come down like I'm throwing him. Boom, like that.
Okay.
And I end like this.
And then you might as well just, when you end, you might as well just hold it, and then we can insert Joe and come in and do this.
Now, if you want to follow through,
I would feel better protecting you like this because I can.
But I'm saying, you don't think if you follow through and we just like both come through the fence and the table?
I'm coming through with you.
Okay, make sure you get me past the fence.
I'll come. Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust through the fence with you and bust the table with his back. You guys just gotta be there.
All I'm doing, I'm right here. Can you just flip me up?
Just see the way he's flipping. Just get one guy to help you.
I'm just gonna come up.
Kev, you're going to have to duck though because your head's going to be over there.
I don't know if I'm going
Pretty good. Broken leg.
Any more sandbags on?
Don't tell you that.
This is one time, dog. And when you say go, it's go, right?
Now tell me this: his legs are going to be way high in the air.
No, I'm gonna be up on his shoulders, facing him.
But your legs.
My head is gonna be up in the air. My head.
He's sitting here. His groin is here. It's like a sexual position.
Okay. So he's like straddling your face.
Yeah, basically. You ain't have to say the shit like that. Lord have mercy, he getting that fucking gay shit. Come on, man.
Why do you gotta get personal now? You know that's the way I am.
So either you want to get lower or you want to get wider.
Now listen.
He's gonna be this high. His head's gonna be here.
Do you want to see you land? Or do you want to see all the shit fly up in the air after you've gone down?
No, you gotta see him go through the table.
You need to put on film what's gonna fucking be good.
Don't worry about potato chips.
I mean, I'm telling you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna hit the table, the shit gonna fly. If you want to film me going to the ground, that's up to you. If you, I don't fucking know. Come on.
All right, let's do it. And action!
Bring me up.
Cut. Put him down. All right.
That made me nervous too. There's no room here. You have to do it all in one motion.
You got another thing? Get one more.
Hey, Roxy,
I
we got
couldn't
another.
swing up by myself.
Roxy, we got another riser.
Let's get this. Watch your foot.
We can always still do the other spot.
No,
wait, Jack.
we're doing this one.
No, we need something about that.
What if I choke? What if I get you?
We're doing this one. Trust me.
I try. This is something I'm not feeling this. Doug, let's go.
Are we rolling? Yep. No. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Careful. Just worry about the fence.
Jack, kick like a motherfucker.
No. I'm doing nothing.
I'm putting it through. All right. I'm 3 when he
Are we rolling, guys?
Ready, let's go.
No, not yet. Hold on. Action!
I don't hit your face. One. There it goes. Two. See? No.
Listen. All I fucking need is somebody to help me get up on his shoulder. That's all I'm asking. Just fucking put me up on his shoulders.
I don't think I'm strong enough to do it.
Just give us a second. When you say action, wait. Just get me up on his fucking shoulders.
I'll do a push up there.
All right.
Is there something higher we can stand on?
Come on, just push me up. Come on.
Jack, hold on a second. What if we got a higher table, squatted you up like this?
Right one his leg.
Flip me over.
Yeah.
Good, thanks.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Come on.
Dog, I'm not feeling it, man.
You behind him. Come on.
Jack,
come on.
I'm not feeling it.
Come on.
I can't do it, Jack. I'm scared I'm gonna fall and drop you.
You're not gonna drop me.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Bro, once they get me up there, just let them get me up there. All right, because they don't have to let you go until I get to the fence.
I don't want to hurt you, dog.
Fuck that. Come on.
Do you guys want to run through on the ground?
Come on.
Get him up, see if they're comfortable with it first.
Come on.
Want to do that?
Come on. All right, come on. Fuck this bullshit. Come on.
Let's get him up. Just clear the table. There you go.
All right, Kylie, go ahead.
Promise. Go.
Action!
There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who wants some?
Cut!
Awesome.
Okay. That shit was hot.
Look good?
That shit looked great.
Will we clear?
Yeah?
All right.
Let's do it again. Rebuild the table. Set it up. You okay? Dude, that was awesome. That was great.
What went on out there? Like, it was really hard for you guys. You were on like a pedestal.
Yeah, it's because like I was going to powerbomb Jack through the fence through a table, but I got a broken leg, and he's a heavy guy, and we were standing on a platform that was very narrow. So if I took a step to the side, I would have dropped him on his head, and re-broke my leg. So I was a little nervous. So once we finally got a big fat ass up there, it was easy to go through with the bump, but. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to Jack and respect him like crazy, because I'd say we were at least 9 feet in the air, and he hit the ground like he's a big guy, like I said, and it was like between me and him together, that's 500 pounds, and he hit that floor. I mean, I respect him to death. I got a broken leg and all that, but Jack's the man. And then the biggest part of the bump was obviously Joe from ICP coming through with the push. It took a lot of practice and work to do. He gave me the version of polar bear thrust with his arm. Dropped the cake, fucked up the whole shot, but I'm glad he was in it.
PBT.
Yeah, you go.
What's your opinion of backyard wrestling?
I don't like it, but I respect for the effort. I don't like it. And because I'm a wrestler, I don't know this guy what's going on, but I respect for those guys.
So you respect him or you don't?
Yeah, I respect it.
You respect
Whatever it is, yeah, I respect it. I know it's the young guys, but people like it. I don't know why, but people like it. Some respect for those guys.
Do you watch it and like maybe see a move you want to do? Do you take their move? Or?
I watched it one time, and I say those guys are crazy. There's a respect for crazy guys. Not for me.
I'll ask you about backyard wrestling. Like, do you look down on that, or do you think backyard wrestling is somewhere where people can get a start? Like,
it's fine. Whatever people do, as long as they do it 100%. You know, I don't down anybody for doing anything. You know, if they see there's a chance to get into something else, man, fucking do it. You know, whatever their sport is, as long as you give it 100%, you don't bitch about it, and you don't stab nobody in the back to do it or get it done. I have total respect for that. I don't care if it's ballet. Fuck, you know, backyard wrestling is fine. As long as they're looking at an avenue to get somewhere, and as long as they enjoy doing what they're doing, don't fuck anybody else over while they're doing it.
What is your opinion of backyard wrestling?
I am not too crazy about it. I think, yeah, I don't dig it at all. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of it, but I mean, how can anybody's opinion be, you know, watching kids smash light bulbs in their face? And I mean, it's so dangerous on a controlled environment. You know, the last thing I would be doing is letting my kid out there, you know. I mean, I want to see it personally because I can't believe it. I don't understand why they want to do it anyways. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I mean, if I was hiring and firing, I'd have to take that as a, you know, a little bit of a negative on the resume. Go to school.
You don't like it?
Nope.
No.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to wrestling.
How so?
Why back in the day when all it took was a body slam and an elbow drop or a double headbutt knockdown to finish a match, to where nowadays you got to jump off the top of that building with a pitchfork and come poke the guy in the eyes with a pitchfork just to get a victory? It don't make no sense. Why would you want to hit somebody with a 1987 Buick to try to take it home? Why? When back in the day, all it was a simple elbow drop, and that's it.
One more thing is that most of the kids who are doing the backyard wrestling really have like no fear and amazing potential. So, you know, those are the kids that should be, you know, getting some discipline, getting their backpacks and going where they can, you know, they could wrestle for hours at a time in school. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
This is the protein drink of champions. To all the backyarders, front yarders, basementers. This is the drink that you drink when you're trying to get your freak on. And you think you want to go out there and get on top of a house and dive off and kill yourself? Have your protein drink. 8 different liquors. A bunch of ice cubes. And a lemon squeeze. You drink this, it's guaranteed to bring you to your knees, bro. You drink this shit and your goddamn criminal record be longer than mine.
I guess I want to say to the backyard wrestlers is pretty much you need to be careful what you do out there and what you show on TV, because if that's your gig, what you like to do, and it sends out a message to these other young kids here, which mixes up with the wrestling that we do. See, we're trained professionals to do what we do. I had to go through schools and schools, hours and hours of training before I got where I am. Now, when kids see the backyard wrestling, they think, wow, you know, but they don't know that these kids here at backyard wrestling has no type of training whatsoever. They are trying to be like us. You follow me? So that's why I say backyard wrestling is very dangerous. You know, it can send out the wrong message, which it does to the young kids as far as what wrestling is.
Can you give me your opinion on backyard wrestling? And like,
I have no opinion on backyard wrestling except for there's some crazy kids. I won't even watch it. I watched 2 seconds of it and turn that shit off. You know, I mean, that's not an art. This is an art form. Okay, you know, making people care. Really, that's what it comes down. Nobody cares about backyard wrestling. That's just saying, boy, that's some stupid motherfuckers. Ichiban.
Do you like backyard wrestling?
I want to.
Backyard wrestling?
Before me XPW match, me
Who backyard booking? Many. Please backyard. Now backyard wrestling ICP. Jagaro, good is Sabu or Sandman, New Jack, Batman Pondo, or I like. I want to USA, United States, backyard wrestling school or park. I want to match.
You want to do a backyard match?
Yeah, no.
No, you won't do it?
Yes.
Oh, you want to or no?
No, me want to.
Oh, you
I
want
like. No problem. Backyard, no problem. Crazy. It's crazy. I am crazy. No problem. Arriba, backyard.
Cool, man. Thank you, Nasawa.
Hi. Arigato.
Anything specific that you want me to ask that you might want to speak about, or that's on your mind? It's up to you. I don't know. I'm sure you have stuff that there's probably something that on your mind that you'd like to answer.
Well, no, not really, man. You know, I'm at peace with everything. Everything's cool.
Let me ask you this: like behind the scenes, like all the fans hear about ribs and the pranks wrestlers will pull on each other. Can you tell me something that had happened to you?
Oh man, we're talking 12 years of ribs. You want me to say? You know what? Unfortunately, I was the guy that never really got ripped on. Being, I guess, was a respect in the business. A young guy who started early, but at the same time, I had a lot of guys that respected me, and I thank God for that. You know, it was, I guess, when guys see you being one of the OGs in the business, sort of like, I guess, 12, 13 years. I started young, but then I feel old, and I'm not really that old yet. But I never really got ribbed on. But of course, I've seen a lot of ribs that happened back there. As far as guy's suitcase, the guy will come back from his match, and all of a sudden you'll see his suitcase hanging up from the rafters, chained up with dog chains. Or a guy will come back from his match, you'll open his bags, and you see he doesn't have his gear or his clothes in there. Maybe there might be shaving cream full in the bag. So there was a lot of rips. You might come out one time from the show, you go out to your car and your tires are missing. Seats are out from the car, so it was a lot, but there've never been like real serious.
Pull ribs on anybody, or did you ever have ribs pulled on you?
Absolutely.
Like you tell
There are ribs that are like, most people are so hostile now too and everything, but I remember when women first started joining WWF, and one girl moved, you have to get your placing. It's like being a teacher, you have to like get your placings, and don't touch this, and you should come in humble, like in any profession or in anybody's home or anything. And I think there are a lot of people who, when they first started joining a big company that were not doing the high school arenas with 200 seats, walk into this crowds of 20,000 people every night, and I'm going to be a big star. You forget that there is a political hierarchy. There is a respect. There are things to be learned. There are things to pay attention to. And I think that was very difficult for the women, especially. Most of the guys, I think, were got it when they had to be taught a little bit, but the women were very difficult. I remember just coming right in and owning the place, and they just didn't get it. So I would have some people move my stuff, and I would take the approach at first: if you ever move my stuff again, you're gonna, I will take your shit and throw it out the door, which I have done as well.
Like, can you tell us about like a rib that you might have pulled on somebody, or a rib that you have pulled on you that you remember?
I don't play games like that, man. You're talking to the wrong person. Like, a lot of people do that, and this is one reason I couldn't get along very well with WWE is because they wanted me to be a wrestler and act like a wrestler. The reason I did well at what I did at the time I did it is because when you see me in the ring as a wrestler, that's really an extension of my personality. If you want me to be somebody else, I have to become an actor, which I guess I'm not good at, because I wasn't good at becoming someone else. I was good at being me. running around beating people up, acting like you beat people up, and then, you know, flipping around and shit like that. But I wasn't good at changing and becoming somebody else. And it's the only political thing I can tell you that was depressing towards me, and I didn't think about ribbing or joking with people in the locker room. I thought about my work. I'm very serious about what I do. I had friends and we played around, you know, outside of the bars and stuff like that, but when it was work, it's time to work.
Then I've glued some suitcases shut, you know, or, you know, accidentally spilled some water on stuff. You know, these are people's lives that they're living on the road, you know, it's their home, each locker room you go into. And it would always amaze me. I don't think I ever got to a point in the women's locker room where women had respect like that, in that way. The guys were different.
What's a rib that you personally pulled on somebody?
What would I?
Like I'm sure you ribbed somebody.
My rib. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is going to be Rikishi confidential now. It's coming out. My rib would be this. If I didn't like anybody and the guy that I knew that was going to wrestle, I'd wait for him a long time. If we were sitting in the back and this guy here say would rib me and think that I didn't know it, then maybe once, I won't put it over the first day or second day. I'll wait till down the line comes. Might be 1 month, might be 2 months. But what I'll do, I'll finally see when we're booked and working together. That's when Kishi, I have 3 pair of tights. The clean tights, the so-so tights, and then the tights that I never take out the bag. That's the tights that you don't want me to wear. So that's my rib there. When I don't like somebody, I'll pull out the tights that I never bring out the bag. And believe me, when I walk out to the arena, everybody gonna smell what I'm cooking.
Does being arrested, does it help get the women?
No.
It pulls the chicks?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah. A little bit. Watch this. Hey, girl, come on. Let me holler at you real quick. You know I wrestle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to be my girl?
Sure.
See? Just like that. That was easy. All right. Hey, I'll holler at you later, girl. All right? All right, cool. Just like that. You get in the ring, you show some bling, and wow, you get a girl just like that quick. Where we at right now? We're walking down Hollywood Boulevard. We on the black end. That's what they call the dark end. We down here where the niggas be hanging out. Where you find a hooker for $20, some crack for 10. You find a hotel room for $12.95 for fucking 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? This is what we doing.
Tell me when it's ready, man.
We're ready.
All right. Now, this is what we do here. We engrave stuff. La la la. Dog tag for the man.
She's pretty.
I know.
She's very pretty.
She's pretty.
Oh, that's sweet.
Alright. I'll kiss you on your jaw. I'll kiss you like right there.
Let us get a kiss.
Okay.
You won't let him kiss you?
Come here.
What's your name, wrestler?
I have Mike's wallet. I stole his wallet. On the second one, I put New Jack 211 run, bitch.
1 minute.
Alright.
You wanna go for a walk and come back? You pay me. What's up? What is this?
Same thing, New Jack 211 run, bitch. It's a black thing, don't worry. 211, you know what 187 means?
No.
187. When it comes down to the cops, it means murder. 211 means robbery. 187 is homicide, 211 is murder. Get it?
Gotcha.
Alright. Don't let it happen again.
It says Hollywood. Why?
My hat or my head?
My hat. You have.
My head?
My head.
My head.
Will you lick his forehead?
No. Don't worry, don't worry. No. What the fuck wrong with you, boy?
I have to ask. I'm sorry.
I love you.
No, that's my baby mama. That's my baby. I'm just kidding.
Alright, I better stop this before it goes any farther.
I know, bro. We're gonna be doing like sex in a minute. Thank you.
Something else can happen.
Alright, come on, bro.
What's your opinion on the internet and how there's reporters out there writing stuff personally about wrestlers and about rumors and storyline spoilers? What's your opinion on all that?
I have none. I'm not an internet freak. As you can see, you give me a surfboard, I can ride a surfboard. But as far as the computers, man, I don't even know how to log on.
Fans email me. And because most of the fans are marks, then they come at me as a mark. And the day I'm in the truck with Mike, and this boy emailed me, and he's a new jack. WWF had the 4 horsemen on there. Why don't you go and show them how it needs to be done? And he was just rattling off on some old corny shit, right? And Mike got a kick out of that shit, which I did too eventually. But I'm reading this shit, and he's just telling me how he think I should do my shit. So I emailed him back. I said, let me tell you something. Look, you fucking fuck. I'm like, don't be emailing me with this bullshit, all right? I don't want to do nothing with the 4 horsemen. I don't want to do nothing with the WWE and whatever the fuck.
What's your opinion of like internet wrestling, the reporters and the news and all the rumors? Like, what do you think of that?
I feel it's been very destructive, and almost everything is very negative. And it's been something that's actually affected my life quite fervently. Internet is kind of a wide open, scary thing. You have stalkers, you have people saying that they're you have, anything goes on the internet, and it's mostly almost all negative, and you're taking people's word for it, more than like a gossip, even a gossip paper. I could deal with that. It's half truth, half fiction, Most of the time it's funny or fun, or even if it talks about a serious event, it's not that bad. But the internet just is a very dangerous thing, and it's warped, especially with wrestling. There needs to be, things are not going to change until the media and the people who are writing understand the bigger picture as well. And if they know what's going on inside the walls, then I sure feel that it's their damn responsibility to write about that or show that, instead of just giving opinions about negative ass kissers, so that they could become premier writers. It speaks for itself. That's my opinion on it.
What's your opinion of like the internet, the reporters and all that? It's just
a little bit of blown out of proportion. A lot of shit that's going on right now, but it's just things get blown out of proportion. But you have to understand, you have to take the good with the bad. When you're going to try to be a popular person and be on TV, you have to understand that there's the bad points too. That people are going to say things and blow things out of proportion, and people would rather tell something bad about somebody than good about somebody 10 times over. But you sign on to that when you come onto the business.
How has the internet, in your opinion, affected the wrestling business?
Too many smarks. Too many people who think they know it all. Simple and plain.
Who are the ones that know it all? The reporters or the people that read it, or what?
Beats me. I don't even pay attention to them, really. I just hear a whole bunch, so I'm just going off of that, you know what I'm saying?
How do you feel the internet's affected the wrestling industry?
I just think that the internet has just made promoters be a little bit more honest, and has the way that they treat the fans and even the wrestlers. And I just think it's brought a little bit of honesty to this business. I think there's a lot of negativism on the internet when this is, it's mindless entertainment. It is what it is. It isn't, a real big thing on most people's minds or in their worlds, except the wrestling fans and wrestlers themselves. It is what it is, and I just think the people that are so negative about it should maybe question themselves, what is it that they love about the business, and not always be trying to look for the worst of it. You know what I'm saying?
When most fans email me, some fans are smart. They email me and they be like, okay, Jack, hey, what's up, man? Just going, holler at you, da-da-da. Hey, man, appreciate your work, da-da-da. But then you got them fans that think they know the business and they don't. And they come at you like they do, and they just straight up just stupid to the business. And they get to ask you these old mark-ass questions, and they'll email me with this shit. And every time they do, if I'm in a real bad mood, trying to get in a good mood, I email them back and fuck with them, man. And then it's like they email me and they be like, New Jack, I don't like you no more. I be like, I don't give a fuck, you fucking fuck.
Was there anybody on the internet that personally attacked you feel in reporting wise, or?
I really haven't. I don't narrow into it that much because it's no use for me. I don't even go on the internet at all. I haven't. I tried to start a website a while ago, and I even got out of control. I even tried to answer hundreds of fans, and then when I couldn't anymore, on top of the rest of my life, people started getting really angry, and so I thought, this is so ridiculous. It's like, there's no respect, this you're just totally, a piece of meat, and then a danger too. I've had identity theft. I've had, why would I go onto the internet to read or to hear that stuff about myself or about anybody else? It pisses me off. So I don't condone it. So I don't go on it. And I don't pay attention to it at all.
What's the funniest email you got from a fan? And what did you do back?
One of the funniest ones I got was this girl sent me this picture of a little baby. And it was in a town that I had never been in before. And she sent me this picture. She said, New Jack, this is your baby. And the baby looked like a pigeon with a spiked hairdo. I swear to God. And the only thing I could think of was whoever the daddy was of that baby, him and the baby mama should be shot and killed because two ugly motherfuckers make an ugly kid, and that's what they did. And I told her that ain't my baby. And she said, no, but you was there with me. You remember that night. I said, look, bitch, cocaine's a powerful drug, but it ain't my baby. So she insisted that it was, and I was like, well, fuck you. I said, that baby belonged to Godzilla. That baby was ugly. So that was one of them.
Recently on the internet, just a follow-up question on that. Supposedly two ladies and some guys had
supposedly I beat up two women and kicked one of them in the face while she was down. Which, to be honest, I got in a fight with I think it was 6 people, and 2 of them were girls. The girl started it by dancing on me in the club. I told him to get off. The girl shoves me. I tipped her hat off her head. The guys surround me, start swinging. I just start pushing people out of the way. The bouncers jump on me. Then I just moved away. It was assault totally on me, and they found out who I was, and things could get blown up worse than on the news, national radio. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm more popular now than I ever was when I wrestled for this bullshit. But, fuck it. I'm a dick. I am. In a bar, I don't like people fucking with me. But it's not like I kick some girl in the face. It's not that bad. Did an altercation happen between me and several people? Yes. Did they come out on the underside? Yes, they did. Was it just 2 girls? No. Are they going to make it look like that? Of course. Yes. But you can believe what you want to believe. I don't give a fuck.
What happened now? Did you? They had a warrant out for you?
Yeah, I had a warrant, and they came and picked me up.
You didn't even know you had a warrant, though, did you?
No. So my ex-girlfriend went next door and told the cops I was in a bar. So she was mad at me. It gets a little deeper. Ex-girlfriends, kind of cheating, kind of shit like that. A little soap opera stuff, and thrown into the middle of stuff.
Wow. So what's going to happen with all this? You're calling
Nothing.
They already dropped charges? Or
Yeah, they have charges, but I have the greatest lawyer in the world. And plus 2, and I have 5 signed eyewitnesses saying that I didn't do anything. And the girl started the whole thing, and it was 5 people. And I was just protecting myself and did not even strike anybody. There was no hospital records. Even the examiner that came, I think somebody went to the emergency room or something like that, said there was no, I read it from the cops when they arrested me. They let me read the statements. There was no bruising of any kind, no signs of any kind of altercation whatsoever. So, I even talked to one, he's like, there's no evidence. So.
What is it about wrestling that makes you travel and dedicate so much time and so much energy to wanting to be a pro wrestler?
The crowd. The crowd is the best pay I have for the wrestler. The crowd and the junkies when they give me the hand and doing a good job. This is my pay. This is right here.
What's the difference to you as an athlete, the mixture of shoot fighting, mixed martial arts as compared to pro wrestling? How does it vary, and what is more strenuous and hard on you as an athlete?
Well, to be honest with you, I personally feel that I see a lot more injuries, a lot more things happen in the pro wrestling world. You know, in shoot fighting, I believe, is a harder training thing, but they're also concerned about their investment. And so if you start getting lit up too bad or whatever, the ref more than likely is going to step in before someone gets hurt too bad. But, you know, the training is similar in some respects in that you have to work on a lot of technique, and you have to know your moves, your grappling, those types of things. K1 forces me to be in a much better cardio shape. It has forced me to have to learn different aspects of martial arts, mixed martial arts, different types of combat. So I've had to hone my striking skills rather than be able to just execute maneuvers and those types of things. You know, it's a lot more. Whereas in pro wrestling, you can get away with making a mistake. In the world of professional fighting, one mistake will land you on the canvas, so to speak.
I'm doing UFC and K1.
How long have you been training for that, and how does that sport differ from pro wrestling?
I don't know yet. I really fought as a kickboxer and did some hook and shoots, like some minor league UFC before it was even called that. Before I started wrestling, and that was where I was a martial artist since I was 10 years old. And it just fell into place. I got to use it when I wrestled. Now that I'm not wrestling anymore, I want to go back to that.
How does the money in K1 compare to like the money WWE would offer? Like, how does it really budget itself in contrast financially?
K1 financially is a bigger company than WWE. It's much more of an international exposure, and you know, you can do very well if you could get on there and you could fight and you know, make a name for yourself and draw a good crowd. So I could definitely make, I do definitely make comparable money to, you know, definitely not the top stars, but probably most of what you would call mid-card guys, so to speak, for a whole lot less aggravation and travel and wear and tear on my body.
I remember you telling me you used to be a pro boxer.
Amateur boxer.
And you're a big, strong guy. Do you think, is there ever a chance that you'll go into like mixed martial arts? Like
no, I'm too old for that. If I would have done it when I first started, I would have, but mixed martial arts wasn't big when I broke in.
K1 definitely has the money to throw out to anybody that's a good fighter that can impress the crowd, and you know, they're always looking for good talent, especially American talent, because they do draw from the top fighters from all over the world, and actually the United States is a little bit lacking in the area of kickboxing and you know, as far as representation in that company, so to speak.
How would you compare like your career in Mexico to your career in the United States?
It was different, so different. About the money and about the rings and about the people. It's different, but I'm from Mexico, and I love this country too, because they give me a lot of jobs and experience. This is good for me.